What's going on, y'all? Hey, it's Frank again. I know when it comes down to this vlog, I've kind of taken a hiatus on being able to create more episodes and everything, but now I want to be able to actually get back into creating episodes for this vlog and, talking about topics I want to talk about. So, for these next couple of episodes, I'm now going to be exploring what I consider to be the five taboo topics. The five taboo topics. And a lot of the reasons why I want to bring these up is, helping others out there to be able to explore uh, the aspect of thinking about things, past what they only know. So, I want to be able to talk about what are considered to be the six taboo topics. It's gonna, cover uh, a slew of episodes. So I'm gonna go over the six within six episodes, the next six episodes, which will include this one. So the six taboo topics are: you have religion, which we're gonna go over today. As far as that topic. Then you have politics, race, sexual preference slash identity, finances, and then the last one, which is something that I've kind of talked to various people about before, as far as this last one, that I think I needed to implement. You have culture. So let's get into religion now. When it comes down to these six, most people on a spectrum, as far as talking about these topics, on one side, when it comes down the spectrum, you have people, essentially getting into an argument because they feel like the other person with talking about the said topic is trying to convince them to believe in what they believe in, or have a certain understanding of that particular thing, or they, when it comes down to the topic, are just not as educated or as understanding of various perspectives to be able to see the topic. But then on the spectrum, you can go all the way to the aspect of starting wars and, you know, murdering people, things of the such. So, one of the things that I wanted to bring up in the scope of any of these topics is the ability to be as objective as possible. The ability to be as objective as possible and be able to understand something, not necessarily saying that you're willing to take in, as far as, or for that matter, you're willing to change your way of thinking completely based on what information someone has given you, but the ability to, understand something different from yours and just gain that understanding. New knowledge is always good, but not in the scope of someone trying to force you to be something that you are not. I'll definitely say that. I've had kind of a back and forth relationship with religion growing up. Um, for me, when I was younger, there were just certain things that I didn't understand, and there was a lot of things that I questioned. But then as I got older, I decided to educate myself when it came down to religious beliefs, so on and so forth, in being able to understand, for me, gaining those different morals and values that you end up learning from the stories within a religious book. Gaining those morals and values helps you just to be a better person. Um, but one of the things that I definitely saw growing up is the scope of people using religion to judge others because they feel like their religion is the best, and when it comes down to what is said in their religion, others need to believe what is said in their religion. There are so many religions on the face of the earth. One of the primary things that I'll definitely say that has been good when it comes down to religion is giving others a kind of baseline of how to live life. But then also in turn, one of the bad things when it comes down to religion is it's used as a means to judge others in a way where you you believe honestly that this person has no good in them whatsoever. It could be from the perspective of, well, they just don't believe what you believe when it comes down to your faith, all the way to, there's this one scripture within this one, you know, uh, chapter in this one book that says this, and now I must use this one scripture to judge this person because they go against or they are within the understanding of that one scripture. There are multiple interpretations of all religious books because we have multiple people on the face of the earth. You know, how objective can we be? How objective can we be? Are we using religion as a means to judge others, to, downgrade others, to desecrate, other minds? Or are we just using it to help ourselves to be better people, which inevitably other people may see, but they may see you as just a good person. They're not seeing you specifically as a Christian or a Jew or Muslim, specifically. They just see you as a good person, and that type of person that will be there for them, help them out, be of goodwill, you know. Um, Growing up, when I was younger, I really didn't understand me not being given answers. I really didn't understand it, especially from the ones that are now trying to reinforce within me a particular religion that I'm trying to better understand in being a child. Uh, my grandmother started reading, one particular religious book to me at a very young age. And even though, like, for me, like up here, I can quote different scripture, I can quote it. Um, I don't feel the need to. Um, because a lot of times, certain things that you end up learning, no matter where you learn it, if it's helping you to be a good person, if it's helping you to be a productive member of society, you know, if it's helping you do that, then that scripture is within your essence. You don't really need to reiterate it through voice because what really don't need to be said is shown. What really don't need to be said is shown. What you see in someone when it comes down to their good nature, inevitably you're going to see that. You know, where getting older, me being able to understand religion from a different perspective, um, as I got older, that's when I understood, like, for me specifically, religion now, when it comes down to the scripture, religious books, so on and so forth, to me, it's allegory. It's allegory. It helps you to be able to gain a story, right? And you look at the underlying message when it comes down to the story that you are reading, the underlying message. Oftentimes those messages within the religious books, especially, when they were created, based on time frame, oftentimes it puts you in a disposition of taking every single word that is said literally, especially if, particular religious book has been written in an old language or a old way of speaking a specific language, where that's why we have multiple different translations of religious books, you know, different languages, different dialects, you know. The biggest thing is, if I come in contact with someone and I pick up on the vibes of them being super religious, if I could say that, um, What I try to do is just I try to see the good nature in them. But if they genuinely ask me questions about, who I believe in, so on and so forth, I will give them the answers. Yeah, there's a great possibility in me being judged, based on my beliefs. Now, mind you, I believe in God, but my concept of God, how I believe in God, you know, is, different from how most people believe in God. Um, but my belief in God, as far as how I understand God, shouldn't automatically make me a bad person because my belief is different from someone else's. Isn't the belief itself good enough? It should be good enough for the individual because the individual has to make headway when it comes down to their intrapersonal dynamics to be able to be the best version of themselves they can be. You know, there's knowledge everywhere. Um, any type of knowledge can be used for good or can be used for bad, you know. So, how often are we able to better understand what we need to do within our lifetime to be the best version of ourselves, which inevitably, we use that best version to help others become better themselves, you know? Not from a subjective standpoint of you must believe this, but from a objective standpoint of, you know, this particular thing helped me, but I don't need to tie the knowledge that I've gained or the enlightenment that I've gained, I don't need to tie it to a religion. I just tie it to what is within my own essence. How often does that happen? It does happen in the world. It does happen, in various ways. What do we do to gain a better understanding of someone else? Someone's belief may help them to see the best in you, you know? And they don't have to even speak on what they believe in, you know? Not unless it's, something that inevitably someone asks them directly. But then the direct answer that is given is not now going to be a reiteration of trying to force someone else to believe what they believe. They just exude within their own essence being the best version of themselves, which means being that great person that they know they need to be for others. No matter what the situation is, no matter the particular dynamics that are in play. Be objective, you know. Being objective builds bridges. Being very subjective destroys them. Nevertheless, I'm Frank, and y'all take it easy.